Hello, my name is Elizabeth and I am from conifercrow.etsy.com. This is the first of the videos today, and actually my first videos ever, so forgive me any foibles that may occur here in the next few minutes. This is the first of 10 of my Magpie bundles. What they are, if you've ever heard of a junk journal, it's essentially a bunch of vintage papers and ephemera and handmade stuff all sort of put together and either sewn together or bound in some way that you can then use to either journal on top of or to stick your own artwork or your own photos in. Essentially, you can just collect all of the things that you have and that you want to use and put them in one place. This particular one is a 4x6. It's about 100 and some odd pages. They range, the ones that you'll see today they range anywhere from 96 to about 140 pages because sometimes I don't know how to stop once I start making things. So this one in particular is a sea-themed or a seaside sort of themed one about transformation. It is made with fabric, obviously, on the outside and sewn together with waxed linen thread. The closure is a piece of vintage seam binding that's been dyed to match. And it's all high quality, what do you call it, decorator, like upholstery fabric, so it's thicker than normal, and it's all sewn together with sort of a messy scribble stitch to keep that sort of messy kind of loose look about it. So with that, here's a flip through. The good thing about junk journals and about my Magpie books is that they not only are they full of vintage stuff, but there's also a lot of little fun inclusions. So there's things like fold outs where you can fold out. I think I'm going off screen here. Let me do this. There's fold outs and places where things are patchwork together. There's fabric tabs so that you can find things quickly. Lots of blank space. I tried to leave blank space so that you have space to write or to stick your own things in. Sometimes I didn't always succeed at that particular goal of leaving you space because once I get started, like I said, I have a trouble kind of stopping sometimes. So, but there are pockets, there are a lot of pockets that are filled with tags and cards that you can either use in your own artwork if you want to use them in your spreads, or if you want to just leave them as tags and stick things on them and shove them back into the pockets. There are corner tuck spots where they've been filled up with stuff for you to use. Some of them have been backed so you can write on them as well. This can even work as an extra tuck spot if you want to. I did use fabric on the inside and actual photos that I found at various thrift stores and vintage shows and things like that. At a couple of places through here too, I took some extra ephemera and stuck them to the sides of the pages so that you can just clip them on so that you can use them in your own stuff. So there's little pieces of ephemera, that sort of thing. More flips. Hope my hands aren't in the way here. I have this thing with octopods and cephalopods. The octopus lives in the sea. The pages are not all the same size, and some of them are my own jelly printed papers and or prints or painted papers. I have some painted papers in here. This is a transparency, so you can put something behind it and have it show. Some of these are also, the things that I stuck into these little pockets are little booklets so that you can write on them or stick something in them and then have almost like a little mini booklet within your own stuff. These are coffee dyed. They're vintage, it's vintage ledger paper that's been coffee dyed. I'll try to go a little faster here. More little booklets. transparency. These are all hand painted paper. I can speak, really, I can. These are all removable. Vintage maps. I have a lot of vintage maps that I use in things. And I love sewing together the pages. It gives such a tactile element to your pages. More clips. And finally, a little booklet here, a little booklet here. And then to close it, you just fold it back up, wrap the seam binding, and tuck her in. I'm hoping to have all of these up on Etsy tomorrow, which is August 9th. I think it's Thursday, August 9th, 2018, in case you're seeing this later. I will make sure to put a link down below. I think most of you are probably here from the Etsy listing, but if not, I'll make sure that you can get there. And thank you so much for watching. There will be 9 more of these.